We'll start off with news of Alexander Isak's injury. We heard rumours that he broke his leg. That was confirmed today by Liverpool. After diagnosis, an operation was completed today on an ankle injury that included a fibular fracture. Isak's rehabilitation will now continue at the AXA training centre with no time frame yet placed on his return. Mario and Nedum are indeed with us, but I want to start with you, Shaq, because you suffered this exact injury.
Pretty much.
We're talking about comebacks. How long did it take you to return?
I played 6 months after breaking my leg, but I came back too early.
Right.
So with mine, and I guess we're still waiting on the exact details of Alexander Isak's. Mine was a couple inches above the ankle. Had a plate put in to stabilise the fibula, but I also tore the ligaments on the inside of my ankle. So that had to be stitched. This was in February 2000, I broke my leg. I came back and played the first game of the following season, away to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge. I'm running across the boxes I do warming up, and my ankle would just give out every so often, randomly.
I wasn't used to you running.
Well, maybe that was it. but the thing is, so 6 months after the operation, I still wasn't ready to come back.
Right.
I really shouldn't have been playing. So now we talk about this with Alexander Isak, and while granted, we are talking about 26 years of advancing in the medical technology, you just wonder, well, they may put a shorter time frame on this. Will he really be back to his full fitness, back to who and having full confidence in that ankle?
Nedum, there's no way of sugarcoating it. It's an absolute disaster for him in what has been a really horrible few months.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think Shaka's saying they're trying to get him back to his best. Well, I think as far as his time in a Liverpool shirt goes, he hasn't been there. Obviously, it's been for different reasons, whether it's to do with the pre-season or early injuries as well. But it's a nightmare start, you know, and having his leg or his ankle being broken as such, that's so unfortunate as well. I think the rehab, as Shaka said, is going to be really, really tough, but they just need to make sure that it's right, because yes, there could be an idea for Isak and others to try and get him back as soon as possible, because, you know, he wants to try and leave his mark at the football club, but it's got to be right, has to be right, otherwise these type of things become chronic, and as a consequence you probably won't be able to see the value of, you know, what is essentially the highest priced player in the history of the Premier League. But like I say, it's a real shame for him. Unfortunately, things like this do happen within football. I don't think there's much malice, if any malice at all, in the tackle. But, you know, he's going to be out for a good few months now, and it's going to be tough for him. Yeah,
and Mario, the irony, of course, is that he scored a great goal to give Liverpool the advantage in the game, and yet he's out now, as Shaka said, probably for 6 to 7 months.
Yeah, it's sad, you know, like the moment when it happened, you understand, because, you know, if you look at the situation, he had that strike and you're thinking like, okay, this is a perfect timing for him and make him grow, and then he gets that injury. You know what the worst part is, I think about this injury is that during the time frame when it happened, he was already trying to catch up and trying to get himself back to the level that he wanted to be to bring his confidence back. And then you get this sick back. It's just like mentally, and I think it's going to be a very important moment, time for him actually, how he comes back. But it's not only the leg that he has to fix, it's also the mindset and saying like, hey, making sure that he's 100%. I don't want him to come back before he's 100% because he's just going to hurt himself if he doesn't do that.
So what does this mean for Liverpool going forward? We saw Salah score today for Egypt, Nedum. Does it mean there is absolutely no way you can get rid of him in January because you need numbers within this squad?
Wow, that's a really good question. I think perhaps that is the case as such, but you don't necessarily want to be holding players hostage if they don't want to be there, because that could in itself could have a bigger effect. I think we look at Liverpool in the summer and, you know, there was obviously the passing of Diogo Jota, but then they also let Darwin Núñez go, and come the start of the season, it felt like they were a little bit light. So maybe there is some idea of, you know, trying to move people on if they feel that that's the right move for that individual and for the football club. But yeah, as I say, maybe this is going to be a blessing for Mo Salah as such, although, you know, essentially he plays on that right side by himself anyway. So I don't think it's going to be almost a like-for-like issue as such, but yeah, it does cause another issue for what has been a very, very sort of like turbulent season for Liverpool so far. But I think Salah would have stayed anyway, to be honest. But I guess this might just confirm that.
Do you agree, Shaq?
Yeah, I don't see how you let Mo Salah go now. And listen, Liverpool, I'm sure, will be linked and have been linked with strikers already in terms of making a move in January. That won't stop. That'll be escalated as a matter of fact. But as of right now, given the injuries to Gakpo as well, the only warm bodies you've got other than Ekitike, is Chiesa and Young Rio, neither of whom have started a game this season, or Premier League game anyway. So you're now looking for experience and proven quality at this level. And again, unless something amazing happens during the course of the January transfer window, I don't see how you let Mo Salah go at this point.
Inevitably, there are rumours, Marius, who could come in. Certainly not a like-for-like replacement, but someone like Semenyo, of course, has been so good this season for Bournemouth.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, if you want a forward that has the, the drive, the confidence, his team, he plays well. I know it's a step up because people forget that sometimes when you go one step up, it's a different kind of level that you're playing at. But still, he's got everything, you understand, as a player. He's confident, he's strong enough, he's got the pace and the understanding how to score goals. And I think, if you, what the guys already highlighted, the Salah situation, I think they have to wait with, but they definitely have to get more bodies in because letting Diaz go, I can almost guarantee you that is one thing Liverpool will always think about, you understand? And if it's not the fans, it will be the people, you understand, the coach and all them. Letting him go will be one of the biggest losses. Why? Because the way he was as an individual, he was very, very important for the team in the sense of his direction and the way he played. So they don't have that anymore, but for now, I think the hardest thing for them is going to be making sure they don't catch up any injuries or people dropping out, because then it's already a ship that is trying to stable himself, and if they carry on, it's going to be even worse for them.
He's linked to your lot as well, isn't he, Nedum?
Yes, he is. And I think that left side, to be fair, has been taken up very well by Doku at this point. And City's squad is a little bit on the larger side, but in terms of a signing that could very much make an impact, he is that. I think we've seen for a few years the potential that he's had, but then when he started this season on fire in the way that he did, it seemed like it's becoming more of a reality. And at times, this has been in a Bournemouth side that overall has been struggling relative to their, say, performances last season. But I love how direct he is. I love how he suits Bournemouth style, being on the front foot and really going taking on those fullbacks. And I think Mario was right. Like, if he was to end up at Liverpool, it does feel a little bit like a Luis Diaz type signing. And I think he has the ability to go to that next level, whether it's for a side that will be playing in the Champions League, hoping to be winning Premier League titles and so on. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes if he does leave in January.